What's up, everybody? Welcome to the next episode of Dev and the Bear. It's going to be our second to last one this year. And tonight we're going to be talking about UFC Fight Night, Derrick Lewis and Chris Daukaus, one of the Daukaus brothers. He may be dead, but he won't be forgotten. The prelims, we'll start there. Were pretty solid. A lot of finishes. One of our favorite guys, Gerald Meerschaert, got another submission win. Justin Tafa, heavyweight, head kick knockout. You don't get to see those very often. Very cool. But we're going to jump into the main card and talk about Swanson knocking out Darren Elkins with a spinning wheel kick. Pretty freaking solid. He really needed that.
Yeah.
But I didn't expect it. I like Cub.
Yeah.
But I had Darren Elkins picked in that fight. I did not expect that.
I picked
at all.
Darren Elkins as well, and that was just for the simple fact being that Darren Elkins can still be game.
Yeah.
Cub Swanson is just, he's been on kind of a losing streak. He lost a lot. He won a couple in a great fashion as well. His decision against Chrome Gracie. Then he beat up, what's that guy's name, man? He turns out of Houston, though. Daniel Pineda.
Yeah.
He knocked out Daniel Pineda, and that was such a good knockout. And then he comes in here and he lost to Giga Chikadze, and then now he comes in and he gets a spinning wheel kick knockout. Like, this guy has been around for so long. Dude.
Yeah.
He's really fought the who's who of MMA, really.
He fought Dustin Poirier when Dustin Poirier looked like 10 years younger.
Yeah, he has a win over Dustin
younger.
Poirier, has a win over Charles Oliveira, has fought guys like Artem Lobov.
Which I think that's like what we were talking about when we were talking about this card. It's just who he's fought. It's pretty crazy to look at his resume. So it is not that surprising that he beat Darren Elkins. I think it's just the fashion in which he did it was wild.
He trains hard, man. Trains with Sam Calvidi right there with TJ Dillashaw. I don't think he's on EPO, though. I'm sure he's getting tested a lot now.
Yeah.
And but he's also now since this win though, he's talking about going down to bantamweight. He said he can do it. He said he's made the cut before.
But I guess I don't know. I think a lot of fighters just feel like they can move down and have success. But we've seen how many times now that that's just not true.
I also think with him though, he's in that twilight of his career to where it's just like, why not? You know?
That's true.
What if he drops down? Like, he's 37, so I don't see him going. With where he's at in his career, I don't see him going on his title run. But there's still a lot of fun fights he can make right there. If he drops down, imagine him versus Sean O'Malley. I think that's a fun fight.
There's a lot of people at bantamweight that he will have a lot of trouble with, though.
Yeah, him and Chito Vera make a great fight. But once he gets,
I feel like a lot of these fights, a lot of those matchups end up kind of like him and Giga. They're just, these guys are on a major rise.
The level of footwork that the bantamweights use versus the featherweights is ridiculous. The movement, it's just I don't know if he could hang with the best of that division, but he could definitely still hang with some of the not the best, but still some top level talent in there.
But
imagine if he dropped down to fight Adrian Nunes.
If that's what he's doing in his own weight class, why bother cutting weight even more? Why bother putting your body through that, like you said, in the twilight of your career? When you're going to be in the same place that you are at in your current division. I don't know. I like him where he's at. I think he's doing well. Him and Adrian Nunes would be a very fun fight. Him and Sean O'Malley would be a very fun fight. Him and freaking whoever else you said, I don't even freaking.
But Chito Vera.
That would be a really fun fight. I would just be worried that he'd be in the same spot that he's in his current weight class, and there's no point to it.
And the thing though with Cub Swanson though also is that we know with these top guys in the featherweight division though, he's not going to beat those guys. And so if he can do it and he feels right making the cut, then I would like to see it. Why not? Just to see him do it a couple times and then call it a career. Or what if he gets into finding his footing that he needed? Because at one point, Cub Swanson should have been getting a title shot that he never got. The UFC screwed him over with that back.
What if they match him up with Max Holloway? They're like, hey, let's hurry up and get Cub out of here.
Yeah.
And then he whoops Max Holloway.
That'd be crazy, honestly. That'd be insane.
Give him a title shot.
It's crazy that Max Holloway's a submission win over him, out of all things. Another fighter I want to mention is Raquel Pennington. Also got a win on that card. She beat Macy Kiasen which I think is I do think that's pretty crazy though, considering that Macy Kielson's kind of moving up through the rankings and she's becoming a well-known prospect in the bantamweight division. She actually missed weight for this fight.
I was about to say she's had some trouble with her fights lately, making weight for her fights.
Yeah,
not being ready for some of her fights,
and it's hard to hold her accountable when it comes to her weight, just because she's tried to make weight so much that I'm sure that has to mess with your body eventually. Making weight. Fight gets canceled, and that happened like 2 or 3 times this year
with Aspen Ladd.
Yeah,
it's happened a lot. She's had a rough time lately, so losing doesn't help.
Yeah, no, it does not help at all. So moving on with the card, we had Mateus Gamrot defeat Diego Ferreira in a very weird stoppage. He kneed him to the body, and he just couldn't.
Ferreira couldn't continue, and he kind of waves it off to the ref. I think that was kind of just like the story of the whole fight. I think Gamrot was just too much for him the whole fight.
Yeah.
And that was just kind of like a result of how much it was piling up, like how much he was. And I don't think Ferreira could keep up the whole fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I like Diego Ferreira. He's been doing it for a while. He also lives in Corpus, which I think is really freaking cool. He drives all the way up to Dallas to go train.
Yeah, I was about to say, he drives freaking like 9 hours to go train.
Which I don't even think it's Corpus. I think it's just a small little podunk Texas town along the coast. But Mateus Gamrot is a former, I want to say, he's either Ryzen or KSW champion. One of those European organizations. And he's coming in, and he's on a tear right now. Yeah. We see what he did to Diego Ferreira. We see what he did to Jeremy Stevens in less than 2 minutes. He's coming in and he's making some noise, and it's pretty cool to see it. But I think he's definitely gonna keep going on continuing on his win streak. But there's so many good fights because the lightweight division is so stacked. But the way he's running through these guys, it's like, man, like, what's next for him? With Diego Ferreira, I wouldn't say that he's needs to figure something out, but it's just more of like, hey, you got kneed in the body pretty freaking hard.
Yeah. I think some changes would help him.
Like maybe moving closer
to your gym would be a nice change.
Which
like
was
the wonders that would do for his mental aspect of it, I think would be big.
Because driving for that long is exhausting.
Yeah.
It's a lot. And then to only do that twice a week, man, like, I think he owns some land where he stays. That's what they talked about a little bit. And so I think that's also what it is too, is just, it's a very tasking thing to put on your body every single day to go train and then to do that all the time, Yeah. So we'll see where things go from there. Now we saw Ricky Simone, a so-called crotch sniffer. That's what Sean O'Malley said about him before. Comes in and knocks out Rafael Sunsao, former contender in the bantamweight division, in devastating fashion.
It was pretty freaking rough.
Yeah.
I think Ricky Simone is a big deal.
Yeah.
I've been saying that for a while. His wrestling is very, very good, but his striking is no joke either. He just doesn't always get an opportunity to show it off.
No.
But he did that night.
Yeah, there's so many great strikers in the bantamweight division that he was able to. He knew that he did want to wrestle with Rafael Sunsao, which I don't blame him. He went in there and just dropped him. It was a nasty right hand right behind the ear, just overhand right, just laid him out.
Just like Garbrandt.
Yeah. And but yeah, man,
that was my thought. As soon as I saw it land, I was like, "Oh man, that's freaking the exact same punch that Garbrandt threw." Come on, man.
It's just Sunsao doesn't. I guess he doesn't learn from his mistakes. And the thing is, too, though, is like we're kind of see him. I feel like he's another fighter. He's in the twilight of his career. He's up there in age and still making 135, which is pretty cool to see.
He's been up there in age for a while.
Yeah, he's one of the older guys in division. I mean, of course he's still a good fighter, but we're kind of seeing that he's becoming like a stepping stone into the top 15. And so Ricky Simone, I mean, he's calling for Sean O'Malley now.
A lot of people are going to be calling for Sean O'Malley. Have they said anyone that they're going to give Sean O'Malley?
No. Well, something I was thinking about too, though, is, he talks about all these ranked guys are dodging me, but there's been a lot of ranked guys that have called him out. Like a lot.
Everybody's calling him out. Yeah. Because they're tired of his crap.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are calling him out, and every time he says people are dodging him, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't think they're dodging him.
You get offered fights and you say no.
Yeah.
So I don't really understand the issue that you have. I definitely understand it the other way around. Ricky Simone gives him problems.
Yeah.
I know that much. Because if at any point he gets a hold of Sean O'Malley, it's not going to go Sean's way.
Yeah,
I know that much. Like, I know he's very good off his back, but Ricky Simone is he's so much pressure when he gets you down.
His wrestling's really good too.
Yeah.
I love watching him wrestle whenever he starts to control guys because he does a lot of flow wrestling. Like he knows weight placement very well. It's kind of like watching Khabib when Khabib would do it. I can't remember which fight I watched with Ricky Simone, but I know he's fighting on the preliminaries and just the way that he could just like deal with the weight adjustment in certain areas. He just knew where it was going and he could just pretty much almost read exactly what they're about to do and read their movements and still keep his dominant position. But yeah, no, I think he gives Sean O'Malley some problems. And I mean, of course, like for him to win, he has to get on the inside. That's where he wins that fight.
Yeah.
Sean O'Malley's so freaking long. Dude.
Anybody fighting Sean O'Malley is going to win from the inside. That was one
Yeah.
of Chris Moutinho's problems was he's having so much trouble getting inside. But
Yeah.
every time he did, I think he
would
looked
connect.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He would connect. And that's what, like, Sean O'Malley had a couple black guys from the couple times he got in on him, you know?
A couple times.
Like, yeah. There wasn't a lot of times he did
There
it.
was not,
But no. But yeah, so on with the card. Who else do we
After
have?
that, we had Amanda Lemos beating Angela Hill by split decision. I didn't agree with that at all. I know a lot of people didn't.
This is the one fight that I missed whenever I was driving over here. Yeah.
It was a good fight. I feel like they both had their moments for sure. I don't understand how those refs gave it to Amanda Lemos, especially the 30-27. I don't understand that at all. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, that just shows that some judges don't watch these fights. They're just
Unless,
sitting there.
I mean, I'd have to go look into it. I don't remember. If there was a 30, I remember there being a 30-27. That could have been for Angela Hill, but I don't even understand that either because Amanda Lemos did win a round.
Yeah.
I'd have to go back and watch. I don't remember which one. We're recording this
I know
a week out after almost.
She did drop her.
Yeah,
I
they
know
both
that.
got dropped at a couple points. But it was a close fight, so I'm not surprised that it's a split, but I'm just surprised it went Lemos' way instead of Hill. I think the global scorecards on Verdict, shout out to Verdict. I think they got the global scorecards had Hill winning as well.
Yeah.
A lot of people kind of didn't agree with that. And that's pretty much all there is to that fight, really. Like, it was a fun fight, but that kind of ruined it.
Right. And so I have to go back and watch it as well. Like I said, I missed that fight, the one fight I freaking missed. So it's like the most controversial one, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, after that, we had Bilal Muhammad and Stephen Thompson. That went about exactly as I planned. Or not planned, but expected.
Bilal absolutely dominated.
It
was Bilal Muhammad's fight.
We saw how much trouble Thompson has with wrestling. We've seen it time and time again.
Yeah.
We know that Bilal is a fantastic wrestler. It just makes sense.
Yeah, he this is definitely like his best performance in his whole career.
Yeah.
Against a guy like Stephen Thompson, that's very he's hard to take down. He actually is. A lot of guys haven't been able to do it.
Bilal was the fourth person to take him down. Third or
That's
fourth.
crazy.
And Stephen Thompson had a pretty long career at this point, so
Yeah.
that's a pretty big deal. And not only was he the third or fourth only person to take down Stephen Thompson, but he also set a career high just in one round.
That's nuts, dude. He was looking for the finish. He was attacking with submissions. There
were also some ground and pound that was pretty fun. At one point, he had Stephen Thompson in the exact position that Gilbert Burns kept getting him in, where he's got his back kind of, and he's trying to get the seatbelt across.
Yeah.
So he's like this, and then they're just looking at each other, so they just started punching each other in the face. It was like a calm Don Fry and was that Hong Man Choi? Was that who it was back then?
I don't think it was. I don't remember.
I can't remember who it was, but it was just like that, except they're sitting down. It was pretty freaking funny. That was a good fight. Like you said, I think that was Bilal's best performance of his career.
Oh man, you to wake up.
You want to wake up? We can talk about Derrick Lewis.
Okay, yeah, we could do that too.
Freaking Derrick Lewis put you to sleep, actually.
What? Yeah, no, he would. He would kill me. But one of the things that I was gonna say, just to kind of end off with Bilal Muhammad, was I wasn't ever really a big fan of him, and I always let that be known. But like this performance, so I can't deny it at all. He put on a great performance. The reason why I never cared for him is I just always felt like he was kind of a boring fighter, and also he was always more active on Twitter than he was in the octagon. But after this performance, what's up? Yeah, the bully B. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, man. We come up with a new Twitter handle or some shit. He actually, though, what I was gonna say though is, I mean, he just broke into the top 5 now, and he's calling for Leon Edwards again. He's calling for Nate Diaz. He's calling for Colby Covington. And it's it's good to see that he's actually getting that push that he's needed, because he's been around for a long time calling for a lot of these guys, and no one wants to give him a chance.
I think Colby gives him a lot of problems.
I think Colby gives him a ton of problems. And that's the thing is, like, Bilal even said, he's like, me and him were supposed to fight. Like, we and him got in the UFC at the same exact time, but he would not fight me.
Obviously, yeah. Leon gives him problems. We already saw that.
Yeah, and I don't see that fight going much different.
I don't either. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it ended faster. Yeah,
I think Leon's going to go in there and probably knock him out, because Bilal does not have very good stand-up. It's a big hole, especially getting into the top 5. All those guys are all wrestlers as well, so you're going to have to depend on your hands. And guys like Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, Leon Edwards, and I want to say it's Vicente Luque is ahead of him now, and Gilbert Burns. They all have great boxing. They all really. Vicente Luque, he's a fucking killer, dude. He has great Muay Thai.
He might be one of my favorite welterweights right now.
He's so good, man.
He's so good, and he's such a cool person.
Yeah.
He's like so honest and just chill. Like, he didn't really give a crap about all the stuff going on. He's a lot like Dustin Poirier.
Yeah.
It's just different.
So that's kind of my final thoughts on that whole Bilal thing. But so on to the main event. Derrick Lewis caught a body Saturday night.
Yeah. There were headlines.
Yeah.
That a black man killed a cop.
Yep. Fucking
Trigger
Derrick Lewis
warning.
caught a body. Blue Lives Matter.
Do.
Chris Dawkins. So, he absolutely folded that fucking dude.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like, that fight, it was coming. It was just coming.
Yeah.
The whole freaking fight. He was waiting for that right hand. It was obvious. Typical Derrick Lewis. We all know what he's going in there to do. But I feel like Dawkins could have avoided it.
100%. He was. There was not a lot of horizontal movements by him. He was very vertical, but getting backed up and just kind of standing there. And it's like, you don't want to stand there with a guy like him.
He got backed up, and Derrick Lewis pressed against him, and then space got created, and he decided to throw fists.
Yeah,
and it's like, why are you going to sit there and throw down with Derrick Lewis?
Yeah, he decided to go to war with him. He tried to be Don Fry, and it did not go very well.
You throw hands with Derrick Lewis, and you get put down.
Yeah.
Like, how many times do we have to see that before you realize that? Come on.
Yeah.
He went H-Town on him. That was good to see.
He put the Houston hands on him,
And then he freaking threw his cup out in the crowd.
That was disgusting.
And some small, gross little man was so excited about it.
I remember looking at you, and I was like, is that what I look like when I walk away from things? Because that dude was really small, and I was like, fuck. But he was way too... At first, we thought it was a kid.
Yeah.
He turned around, it was a grown-ass man. I was like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. That threw me off. But, yeah, Derrick Lewis, I mean... He folded that dude like a French fry. It was absolute.
Whoa. French fry. Cyril was a French fry.
Yeah.
French.
So he folded him like a piece of bacon.
There you go.
Hey. Yeah. Just be completely disrespectful to our first responders.
Nah, we are big fans of both Dawkins brothers here. Actually,
that's true. We are big fans of cops.
Oh. Well, that too.
Yeah, but I thought it was funny. I have no issues at all.
Anyway. It was a fantastic knockout. We got to see Derrick Lewis go out there and put on his typical performance, and then we got to see him do a great post-fight little interview as well.
Yeah.
That was very fun.
See, they tried to kick his wife out?
Yeah, and he got mad, and he was like, y'all going to do me like that for real? I was like, yeah, that sucks.
That shit was rude. And then they finally let her in. I'm like, you fucking idiots, dude. Who are these officials? These officials, man, they've been testing motherfuckers lately.
When they pushed...
Tai Tuivasa?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, y'all really don't want to fuck with you get in the way of Tui and the Shoeys,
If the UFC is gonna put on so much, like promotion and commercials in between fights on these pay-per-views, freaking tell these officials like, hey, be ready. You're gonna go in there and fight if you start something with someone.
Yeah.
Just in between commercials. Nobody on TV is gonna see this.
Yeah.
Nobody watching this on TV is gonna see it, but everyone in the stadium will. You're gonna get knocked out.
Yeah.
Tai Tuivasa versus homeboy
John.
Yeah, whatever the hell that guy's name is. But yeah, that's the card. It was really good. It was very fun. Some underdogs won. I think it was a fun one to watch. I think what it really did though, like that card's place in the UFC universe is setting up future contenders. I think that's what that card did from start to finish. Was just tell you who the next contender is going to be.
I really fucked my eye up there.
Yeah, that's nice.
And so one thing I did want to bring up though with the ending of this card was, so with this being the last card of the year, this is like more of like a question, I guess, is do you feel that with this card ending that the UFC should just have pay-per-views in the year? Like, do you think that if UFC 269 would have been the last card of the year, that would have been okay instead of having another card? Because UFC 269 was so hyped up, and to in the year on the high of a great card like that, would you feel like with fight nights like this right after the a big card kind of messes with the hype of what that card was and ends the UFC? I mean, of course, the UFC had a great year. There was tons of great cards that we're gonna get into next episode, but do you feel like that kind of messes with the hype of what the UFC did in the month of December for their pay-per-view?
I get what you're saying from like a fan perspective. That makes sense. But if you think about it, like you're a fighter, or you're a coach or anyone involved, that time like doesn't exist. The difference between 1 year and the next year, it's just a span of a few weeks.
Yeah.
Like if you're in the middle of a fight camp, you don't care that it's no longer. You don't care that it went from, New Year's Eve to New Year's Day. That doesn't make a difference. Ending the year doesn't mean a whole lot in the sense of it's like one card to the next. Mm-hmm. It's not like the end of a chapter. It's just I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I don't think it's that big of a deal because I don't look at it like that.
Yeah.
I'm already looking at the next card like, all right, what's next, But there is this little gap. I do think that, like, I'm fine with them not doing New Year's cards.
Yeah.
But there is this, like, little gap. We get a couple weeks at the end of this year and a couple weeks in the beginning of next year. So they do kind of create an atmosphere of, like, this is the end of this year. You got to wait for next year for us to start up again. Right. They did kind of create that. So I would say, if anything, it feels more this year because of that. Yeah. There's no New Year's cards, so we don't really get to see something immediately after.
Right. Which I don't know I don't think they've done a New Year's card in a long time as well. Like we were talking with your buddy Josh earlier. Like they used to do them all the time, but I don't think they've done them in a really long time. But yeah, no, just something I was thinking about is like, as a fighter, as a fight fan, but also as like watching promotion and just kind of like talking and discussing these things is, is it smart to have a normal fight card, fight night after such a big pay-per-view towards the end of the year, or just give everybody a break and then come back with a great card like they are with Chikadze and Cater in a couple weeks,
Well, Cub Swanson, that fight could be that fight is the biggest moment in his career that night.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think to them, it doesn't matter that it's not a pay-per-view. Yeah. It doesn't matter that it's not as hyped up as the card before. It's the biggest moment of their life at the moment.
Yeah, right. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So, and I mean, I can't help but see it that way as well. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the reasons I like watching each one of the fights on the cards, like prelims, early prelims, all of it, is because it's so important to each one of these people. So
to them, this is the main event.
As far as like storyline and hype, like I don't know, man, I'm just as hyped about that last pay-per-view as I was right after. I don't think having a card like Derrick Lewis and Chris Daukaus, Cal Daukaus,
Yeah.
We're fans. Which one was it?
Chris.
Chris Dawkins.
Yep.
Okay, that's what.
I don't know why I forgot for a second too. Like I knew that, but so I guess that was UFC Fight Night 199 and the last UFC event of the year. I guess to discuss some other stuff going on that we kind of haven't been able to talk about was Jake Paul knocking out Tyron Woodley in the 6th round of their fight.
Knocked him out cold.
Yeah.
Knocked him out so hard that our Instagram got disabled.
Yeah. It was so bad, and we were so on top of, giving the news.
Just like everyone else was doing.
Being a media outlet, we were on top of it. We were one of the first people to share it. I'm sure we were. And we posted it, and it took down our Instagram that we have worked on.
They freaking hit hard, those bastards.
Yeah, apparently the Showtime wanted to post it first, apparently. And, we were right on top of that. So
I know for a fact several people posted it before us.
Yeah.
Because one of mine was a repost.
Oh, okay.
So, how dare them? But yeah, no, Tyron Woodley has no business in a boxing ring, and that shows it even more so than their last fight because he got knocked out cold.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it's rigged. A lot of people think Jake Paul signaled for Tyron Woodley to take the fall.
I don't see Tyron as a person to do that.
I don't know. It depends on how much money you put in the wrong, because that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
But he went face first in that canvas.
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to do that?
He was stiff out. He hit him fucking hard.
Like, I'm saying, you know how hard it is to fall without catching yourself?
Yeah.
Like, he's not an actor. We know that. We've seen him try, and it's awful.
You see that one with clip of him in that one movie that's like he gets his a fellatio done by a raccoon.
What?
Yeah.
Tyron Woodley?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to know about this.
Yeah. So.
But Tyron Woodley, I don't think that was rigged. I don't think him getting knocked out was rigged. I think he's trash.
Sorry. Just like that, you had to clarify that. Because we're talking about the movie and then him getting knocked out.
Oh.
I thought it was funny.
Anyway, yeah, I don't think that was rigged. I think that he got knocked out cold by a freaking Disney Channel star, YouTuber, moron. I am ready for Jake Paul to get a real opponent, though.
Yeah, I think we're seeing that. I mean, this is kind of what we've been saying from the start, though, is that he's, Jake Paul trains hard. He puts in the time, trains with great trainers, some world-class trainers.
People who have no business trying to box. So it's like, hey,
yeah,
you need to step up in competition. I'm glad that you are making money.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good that your record is you're undefeated or whatever. But, hey, you're trying to be taken serious as a boxer. His freaking idiot brother is like, oh, he's this generation's Mike Tyson.
That's a stretch.
That's
yeah, no,
it's beyond a stretch.
One of the things that I think we kind of talked about a little bit that I didn't like so much was when he knocked him out. Logan was trying to jump in the ring with a camera to take pictures of Tyron.
Yeah.
Was pointing and laughing at him.
Well, I mean, didn't he do that before, or was that Jake Paul? Didn't he film a dead body before?
He did film a dead body before.
Yeah,
yes.
And he was just trying to do it again.
Yeah, he's just trying to get he's just trying to get censored again. But for me though, like I guess I don't know, man. When it comes down to what these guys do, when it comes to someone getting knocked out like that, it's not funny. It's not the time to make jokes. I mean, what if Tyron ended up on a stretcher?
I mean, no offense, but weren't we making jokes about Chris Dawkins getting knocked out the second it happened?
He got up pretty quick, though.
Yeah, but I'm saying we made fun of him.
Yes, but not like when he was still out cold. Like I was like, holy shit. But my thing is though is just when that happens, whenever a fighter's out cold like that, it was like when Adam Cello got knocked out by Uriah Hall. You know, like whenever he was on the floor, like. Nobody's joking around. No one's like,
well,
oh,
they cheered,
shit, you know.
And then they're like, oh, wait, he's not up yet.
You know, and stuff like that. It's really distasteful. If you're going to be a boxer, you have to have that respect. And it's kind of like when someone gets hurt in football.
I was just about to say that. It's the same thing in football. You take a knee.
Yeah.
You have some respect for the injured player, whether it's a teammate or not.
Yeah. So that's just something I thought it was really just in bad taste to see him doing that.
I mean, do we expect anything different?
No, we don't. But I think that there needs to be somebody to let them know, like, hey, when someone gets knocked out, you have to show fucking respect and wait till they get up at least.
I think if you acknowledge that to them, they're gonna bite on that because they want that.
Yeah.
They want to be the bad boys of boxing. Jake Paul's the problem child, you know. Yeah. He plays kind of a weird card sometimes. Like he tries to be the good guy while being the bad guy. It's kind of weird, but nonetheless,
I think it's just a narrative that he follows just to make himself look like a good guy, though. And like with him and Dana White,
I mean, it's all a character,
you know. But it's just him having that thing where it's like, oh well, you're gonna call me a piece of shit. Well, you don't pay your fighters, you know.
Yeah, because that's what they do. That's what these idiots do.
And so it's just it makes you look like a better person. On them,
so they push other people under the bus. They can't just admit responsibility.
So yeah, I don't know, man. It is what it is. I guess now we're just keep talking about them. I guess.
Yeah. I mean, even when they lose, we're gonna be talking about them, right? Like that's what they need.
I know.
It's like the freaking Island Boys.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. I literally just saw a video of them the other day doing a interview, and they were getting into it with the interviewer and stuff.
Yeah, that was it on Logan Paul's podcast. Yeah. But yeah, like they need the negative attention that helps them. So no matter what, like they're kind of set because all they're gonna do is good or bad. Either way, they're good though. So I think give Jake Paul a legitimate opponent. He needs to stop going out and picking these guys. He says he wants to fight Masvidal or Diaz. Freaking let him.
Yeah. What's it called? I know I was gonna mention real quick that Logan Paul is set to fight Mike Tyson in February. I'm not sure if you knew about that.
I had seen it and I kind of forgot all about it.
Yeah.
I wish I had still forgot all about it.
But so with that though, Jake Paul's calling out guys like Nate Diaz, calling out guys like Jorge Masvidal, like you mentioned. Who else did he call? Canelo. And out of all these guys, Jorge Masvidal, being the guy who's still trying to ride the street Jesus hype, is the only one that bites on this shit. And, I'm like, there it is.
A 17-year-old shoved Jorge Masvidal at the fights.
I saw that.
And he tried to fight that 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Like, and you look at this kid, it looks like a kid.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He posted a video saying, I didn't fucking shove him, you know, this and that. And but it's like, well, man, like, I don't know what happened with that situation. But, I mean, it's still, like, Jorge Masvidal. I mean, if someone shows him, he's going to do something about it, you know?
Childish.
What's up?
Childish.
Yeah. But,
insubordinate.
I mean, if he put his hands on him, you know? Whoa, dude, calm down there. I don't know, but the whole thing though with Jorge Masvidal calling him out, there's also that thing of being around is that he said that if he fights him, he wants $20 million and stuff, and a lot of people are talking a bunch of shit right now, saying Jorge doesn't even make that much. He made like $800,000 his last fight against Usman.
Look, if I'm Jake Paul and Masvidal wants to fight me that bad and he wants $20 million, I'd be like, all right, I'll make it happen. If you can go win some fights for a change, if you can go out there and I don't know, be the champion, you act like you are. Yeah, I'll give you $20 million and we'll fight and we will throw down. Yeah, well, hell, make it a MMA fight.
Yeah, like he's like I offered him $5 million with a percentage of pay-per-view, which I think is just one of the things where it's like, the UFC's not gonna let him out of contract. Like I don't know what you're accomplishing with that. But whenever these people are chiming in, like Jorge has never seen $5 million before, this and that. It's like, guys, that's not even y'all's fucking position. Why are y'all...
It's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's completely irrelevant to bring out his money into this as well, saying that he needs to fight him because that's the most money he'll ever make. And it's just like, what's this about? Like, this is an MMA fighter versus a boxer. This is a guy who's still in the top tier. Like, he's not in the twilight of his career. Like, he doesn't line up with Jake Paul's type of opponent,
Hey, get Canelo out there. No, I don't think Canelo needs to step in the ring with Jake Paul.
No, Canelo...
Not about, like, what he would do to Jake Paul, but just strictly because that's disrespectful.
That would completely tarnish any brand that Canelo has if he were to do that. Like, if they got older, I mean, fuck it, why not? But even that, I think Canelo is such a purist of the sport, he would say, no,
he would never do that. And he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
Freaking, where's Bob Sapp when you need him, right?
I don't know, fucking probably diving somewhere.
Diving?
Yeah, he dives all the time in fights.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was very confused for a second.
It's pretty funny to hear him talk about, though. He's like, they pay me for 2 minutes, and in those 2 minutes, after those 2 minutes are up, I take the dive.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But yeah, that's let us know your thoughts on Jake Paul knocking out good old frozen one, Tyron Woodley.
And also be on the lookout. We'll be making a new Instagram very, very soon. I guess new business cards as well.
Yeah, I was looking at that. We're gonna make better ones. If you have one of our business cards, go ahead and throw it away.
Please do.
And thank Instagram. Make sure to hate them just as much as we do. Thank you very much. Like, comment, and follow the correct pages.